gonna spray everything down with bleach so we don't get the Rona. Yeah. Wipe everything down. So we have a clean workspace where we can bake some bread. I feel like there's two groups of people and I kind of fall into both groups depending on my mood and depending on the day. But there are the types of people that don't want to hear anything about coronavirus. I don't want to hear anything about COVID-19. I want to just tune it out. I want to ignore it because it's giving me hella anxiety. I don't want to think about it. And then there's the people that are like, dear Lord, all I can think about is coronavirus. I want to know all the updates, everything that's going on. Tell me everything coronavirus. And I can be in either camp, like truly. Some days I'm like, yeah, tell me everything. Other days I'm like, God, I don't want to think about it at all. I'm gonna do a little bit of this one in the beginning, and then we're gonna get into this one where we're not gonna think about it at all. So just gonna get everything out of the way. Blake actually left on another deployment. For those of you who don't know, Blake's job is unique in the sense that he spends basically half the year in a different place and half the year in the country. He happened to leave on this deployment on like February 2nd or something like that. It was like the beginning of February. I did family dinner with his family like probably about a month ago at this point, like mid-February or late February. And we were all kind of like, wow, this is getting kind of weird. Like it's starting to get serious. It's starting to get kind of odd here. Me and Blake were kind of like talking back and forth. At this point, we were all kind of just joking, but not joking, but like we weren't taking it seriously. I think it's pretty similar to a lot of people where like nobody was really taking it entirely seriously until a specific moment in time when something happened that made them flip and it was like, oh crap. For me, that was the school closures. When they closed the schools, I was like, oh God, this is gonna get bad. Pretty soon after that, they were like, no groups of people over 200, which is kind of a large amount of people anyway, but then it started getting more and more serious. Then it was 50 people, and then it was 10 people, and then suddenly all restaurants were closed except for takeout and delivery, and then all bars were closed, all recreation things are closed, concerts, movie theaters, pools, gyms, everything started closing. Everything's closed and you're highly suggested to socially isolate yourself. We just didn't call it a lockdown like other places are. You have states like California and states like Illinois and places where I'm pretty sure they're technically under lockdown, but you can still go grocery shopping and you can still get exercise outside and you can do these things outside. It's pretty much the same thing what we have here in Washington, except we just didn't call it a lockdown. Yesterday, our governor announced that he was signing a stay home, stay healthy mandate. Basically, yeah, it's more of the same, except now you can actually get in trouble for being outside for a purpose that you don't need to be outside for. You can still exercise outside, you can still go outside, you can still walk your dog, you can still go grocery shopping, but everything you do outside has to be an essential purpose. It has to have a purpose, right? So that's kind of where we're at right now here in Washington, at least in the greater Seattle area. For me personally, I'm staying inside as much as possible. I am walking my dog. I am going on an almost daily run by myself. I'm not meeting up with anybody. I'm not seeing my family. My family in particular, my parents. My dad is immunocompromised and he is elderly. So we're trying to, especially him, we're trying to like keep him separate from as many people as possible. My mom, unfortunately, while she's elderly, she's also kind of captain of the ship around here. She kind of has to be out and work and check in and do a lot of things. I just hope she's doing everything she needs to be doing. I'm sure she is, but like, come on, Mom, if you're watching this, please make sure you're washing your hands. For Blake, I don't want to give away where Blake is right now because I don't actually know if I'm allowed to do that, but Blake is working abroad. I think a week or a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know. To be completely honest, the weeks right now feel like forever. March has lasted forever, can we just be honest? Blake told me that they closed the airport that he used to get to his job, so he is stuck where he's at, and they have locked down the base. Nobody can come in or out for like, I think 2 weeks at least. You literally cannot leave the base right now because where he's at right now is actually pretty freaking safe. It's on a base in the middle of nowhere. And the people who are on the base are living on base, and As far as I know, nobody has been infected by anything on the base there. He's good, thankfully, right now. Knock on wood, please. He says that everything is pretty much normal there. Everything is kind of business as usual, which is good because that, you know, that is a good thing. It's just, not business as usual anywhere else, it seems. One silver lining for me personally, for us personally, is that when Blake was home this last time after his last deployment, he came home and our whole plan at that point was to stay home and not do anything. We wanted to be hermits, like really wanted to relax. And I totally understand that. His schedule, when he's abroad and working, his schedule's insane. It's 7 days a week, 12-hour days. And so he wanted to just chill. He didn't want to do anything when he came home. What we didn't realize is that basically prepared us for what we're experiencing right now and being socially isolated. So we're like social isolation pros at this point. I'll give like regular non-COVID updates as I'm baking bread. This is what we're gonna be baking today. I was gonna go for a regular sourdough, but I wanted something that was more sandwichy. We need to be shooting for pre-fermented flour of 7.25% and 70% hydration. Man, I have to do math. Hold up. I legit had to just look up a bread calculator to figure out the hydration levels with all of my ingredients. So this is what I found. This is me making going off of 600 grams of flour. Flour, whole milk, and water into the stand mixer. 600 grams of flour going in. 288 grams of water. 132 grams of milk. And then it says to stir until just incorporated. That looks just incorporated to me. Cover the bowl and let rest for 30 minutes. Got it. That is doable. Actually, I'm just gonna put a towel over it. So the timer, whoa, I have got to clean this one set. I made lasagna last night and apparently there were some casualties in the process of the actual lasagna making. Wow, that is embarrassing. The timer is about to go off. Hey Google, turn off the timer. I didn't even plan that. That was awesome. To the mixing bowl, add the levain or sourdough starter, salt, and the reserved 25 grams of water. I didn't reserve the water. Hopefully this will be okay. This is my sourdough starter. I fed him last night because I was planning on making bread today. This is the line at which it was last night when I fed him. And this is how much it has more than doubled overnight, which is fantastic, which means this will be great as a sourdough starter slash levain. So we're going to take 96 grams of this and 12 grams of salt. 96 grams of sourdough starter. I'm gonna put that right in there. There we are. Here is 12 grams of salt. I'm just going to sprinkle in here. And we're gonna mix it. Grams of honey and a tiny itty bitty splash of water because I think it needs it. I might just be totally ruining it right now, but I don't know. We're gonna learn. We're gonna find out. 72 grams of butter. So I'm gonna throw one in at a time, I guess. There we go. This beautiful dough. I'm gonna show you real fast so it doesn't go all over the place. Now it needs to do its bulk fermentation. So I'll stick it in the oven. I'll turn the oven on literally for like 10 seconds and then turn it off. So that gives it enough time to have like a tiny bit of heat inside the oven because it's kind of cool in my apartment. And that'll let it have a nice environment to rise a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So he's chilling with the oven light on. And he's gonna stay that way for kind of a while.
30 minutes, starting now.
Okay, time to do some folds. This is our dough. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna like take a corner and fold it like that all the way around. And the trick here is to like move. Actually, I might wet my hands, hold on. And my hand is a little damp, so the dough won't stick to it as easily. But like the trick with this is to just move with confidence. Like it can be really easy for the dough to stick to your hands, but if you just move really rapidly and pull it with confidence, it'll be a lot easier. Like that. There we go, that's about all the way around. So now I'm just gonna stick him back in the oven. Back in the oven, he goes.
Somebody has been adequately walked. Good job.
We are back in the apartment. I am going to do a couple more flips on the bread. Oh, it's so stretchy and beautiful. Okay, back in the oven it goes. Put it in the oven, let it sit for another half an hour, and then we can finally take it out and start forming it, I suppose. There's only a few minutes left on the timer, which is great because I'm so excited to start shaping this dough. But I wanted to show you guys something really cool. I have been sewing like crazy lately. There are a ton of hospitals and nursing homes and places that frankly need masks, but they can't get a hold of them because there's a limited supply of masks. Hopefully that's gonna be changing in the near-ish future, but there are a couple hospitals and healthcare locations that have specifically asked people to sew some masks if they are at all able. And so that's what I've been doing. So like this is like one example of a mask that I've made. The really cool thing about these masks is that it's accordion style, and so it fits a lot of different kinds of faces and face shapes. It also has this handy dandy pocket. So this mask, you can put a filter inside this of some kind if you are in like a home setting or typical normal person setting, or if you are an actual healthcare worker, you can fit a real surgical mask inside this. And that's a game changer because that lengthens the lifespan of the masks that people do have in those settings. And so that's really important right now because there's such a low supply of masks. I actually delivered, I only have 3 on hand right now because I've delivered like I think just shy of 20 of them so far to people around here who require something like that. They are taking those masks and donating them to local hospitals, which is really, really great. So that also makes me feel so good given everything that's going on right now. If you guys want to learn how to sew masks like that, I was going to film a tutorial video for YouTube specifically on how to do that, but I ended up doing it on Instagram because I've been a lot more active on like Instagram stories and stuff as of late. And so if you want to learn how to sew a mask that looks kind of like this, then I will link that in the description bar down below, and I'll put like a little snippet of it like right over here, so that way you can sew a mask, learn how to sew a mask. Check out my IGTV, that's where I uploaded it. It was the first ever IGTV video I've ever uploaded. So yeah, let me know how you guys like that, or if it's helpful for you guys at all. Oh yeah, he's looking good. He looks so good. Oh my gosh, this is the best making dough I have done in such a long time. If this doesn't work out, I will be mildly disappointed. It's been rested. Now I have to shape it and put it in the loaf pan. This could be a disaster. This could be the moment where I fail. This is the top. What we want to do is flip it over, fold it like an envelope, and then stick it in the pan. Confidence. Confident moves. That is the key. All right, ready? Let's go. Oh, yay, that worked a little bit better than I thought it would. Okay, in and roll. In and roll. That's what we want. Okay. Look at, that looks, this doesn't look appropriate, but that's okay. God, I can't believe that worked. All right, now what do I have to do? This is the before, which is clearly where I'm at, and we want it to do that so it kind of like fills all the crevices of the pan. We are just about ready to bake. This is our beautiful loaf of bread. You can see he's nice and snug in here, and he has definitely risen a decent amount in the loaf pan. These are 2 loaves that this guy, the creator of the recipe, did. The loaf on the left has an egg wash and it was allowed to rise naturally without like a lid. The one on the right had a lid on it and no egg wash, so you can see the difference. I want the shiny bread on the left. Oh yeah. Okay, here we are. Yeah, I would say this worked out really well. Look at how shiny the top is. And listen, ready? Oh. Ooh, it looks like sandwich bread. That's exactly what I wanted. Well, I'm heating up some toast in a cast iron pan right now because guess what? I don't have a toaster. But this is good, this is fine. Like this works just as well. I thought right now would be as good a time as any to give you guys a few updates on like what's going on in our lives. I don't even know where to begin. I guess the last time you guys heard from us was the last update video I gave where we were talking about how we were planning and trying to hopefully buy a house. This was a while ago. We put an offer in on one house. Another family or another buyer at least was put in a better offer. And so the sellers took their offer over ours, and so we didn't get that. On one hand, it was kind of a good thing because it gave us an idea of what it would be like when it came to actually buying a house. We got to go through the process without actually being committed to the house. And that was in January, because Blake was still here. That was in January when all of that went down. Blake left early February, and we were kind of like keeping an eye on the market. We had been keeping an eye on the market. We're still keeping an eye on the market for this whole time. And well, clearly with the COVID-19 thing, basically, we're just kind of gonna hold off for a little bit. We just kind of figured it wouldn't be the best time to buy because we don't know what the market's gonna do. We don't know if suddenly houses are gonna get a whole lot cheaper. We don't really know if a lot of people are gonna be unemployed, and therefore, I mean, people are very hurting like right now and are becoming unemployed. We don't know how that's gonna affect whether or not they're trying to sell their houses, right? Because usually in downturns, a lot of people aren't wanting to sell their houses unless they're maybe nearing retirement and they need the liquidity. If it's a big nest egg that they have or something, then yeah, they'd sell it. But like for a lot of people don't sell in the middle of panic and whatever is happening in the world. It just made more sense to us as buyers to kind of wait a little bit and see what's gonna happen. I think that's the safe thing to do. So we're just kind of holding off a little bit. I don't know for how long that's gonna be because everything is so up in the air right now. Like, I don't know how long I don't know when normal will return. And I don't know if a lot of people know that. It's kind of a mystery for a whole lot of people. Blake should be coming home in June, but who knows? The airport where he's at is closed right now and probably will be for the foreseeable future. So it's kind of difficult to tell when he's even gonna come home at this point. We have no idea. We had a few plans for the year. There were a couple things that we wanted to do and there were a couple things that we were hoping to accomplish, and COVID-19 has kind of shot everything in the face and we're kind of like, I don't know. We just don't know. Yeah. There's literally nothing else I can tell you guys. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, this is good. I'm gonna enjoy my toast. I'm gonna watch a sappy romance movie to take my mind off of everything else going on in the world. By the way, I'm watching About Time if you guys are at all interested. It's a really good movie. I really like it. It's one of my new favorites, and it's lighthearted and it makes you smile and it's hilarious, and yeah, I just really enjoy it, so you should check it out. That's what I'm watching tonight. Going to stay inside and be socially isolated. If you guys aren't already, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I have been updating Instagram pretty frequently in my Instagram stories throughout this whole process and throughout everything that's happening in the world, or at least my neck of the woods. The link is in the description bar below, and I'm gonna throw up my username like right over here so you can see and follow me. I would love to have you there. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.